then I look in the rearview mirror and I see my mirror, the passenger side mirror, like tumbling away in the distance. Look at me, I'm like back on your screen. Unless you're like new to my channel and you like clicked on this video, I just want to start off by saying I really appreciate the pity views that I get from like, I want to say like close friends, but I feel like I don't really have any like close friends at the moment. But really, like I have some coworkers and like other like friends and mutuals that like watch my videos because they like feel bad. And that is what gets me up in the morning. I'm kidding. Today's video is going to be about just shitty things that happen to me and only me. I am, excuse my language, I'm the family fuck up. It's just like, oh, Nicole's back at it again. Like, now here's the thing, like, I've never been arrested. I've probably come close, I'm not gonna lie. What other bad things can like happen that haven't happened to me? I don't know, I can't think of any. I also want to quick say that I'm like pre-filming this video. Usually when I upload a video, I had filmed it like that day or the day before and edited it. That's a word, yeah? Edited it within like 24 hours and then put it up on the internet because like my content is not that hard to like, I just half-ass it. It's not good. Like, but if you're watching this right now, like the day I upload it, today's Tuesday, if you're watching this, like the actual day this video goes up, I'm in Chicago right now for work. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing in Chicago, but I know I'm supposed to go and like learn about stuff and I don't know. The one thing I really sat down to talk about was the night that I got my car towed, but then I realized like other things have happened to me. I think within that actual week of that happening, like there was just like some other events that happened and really expensive things like, you know, getting your car towed isn't cheap, rear-ending people, not very cheap. I wouldn't recommend getting into car accidents. I have totaled a car, and that car that I actually totaled, I had one time as I was backing out of my garage downstairs, the passenger side like mirror bent backwards because I like clipped it on the side of the garage because I don't pay attention and I'm stupid. Also in that same exact garage with that car, I was sneaking out one time, like not really sneaking out. I told mom, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go out to eat with a couple friends, and then she was like, like you don't need to do that, like it's late. And I was like, I'm going to anyways, like I don't know, I'm an adult, kind of, not really, but like I'm gonna go anyways, sorry. I wasn't really asking for your permission, I was just telling you, but thanks for your input. So I went downstairs, opened up the garage door, got in my car, turned it on, and started to back out, but I don't know how this happened, because I've never even come close to doing this before, but that particular night when I was sneaking out, I had started backing out when I was in the car, but the garage door wasn't like up all the way yet, so my car scraped, like the roof of the car scraped underneath the bottom of the garage door as it was going up, and my car, my little 2003 Volkswagen Jetta, had knocked that side of the garage door like off of the track, you know, where it goes up and like, you know, it came off that side, and there was like debris everywhere, there was dust, and I was like, oh my god, what did I just do? So I got out of the car. No, I didn't, that's a lie, I didn't get out of the car. I was like, oh wow, oops. I just continued to back up and I was just gonna leave, and I pressed the button to close the garage door, and it got all the way down to the bottom, and then like the lights started blinking and it went back up. Something had hit the sensor, you know what I mean, so you don't like close the garage door on your foot or something, I don't know, and it had gone back up, and I was like, uh-oh, like something's wrong. So I think at that point I got out of the car because I was sitting there and I was like, damn, like I probably shouldn't leave the garage door open all night. I don't live in the safest neighborhood, like it's kind of safe, but it's very, very close to other like sketchy neighborhoods, and I know a lot of people in my neighborhood get their cars broken into and stuff, and I'm just like, I probably shouldn't leave the garage door open. Someone could break into my mom's car or even like go into the house and do something and steal stuff while my mom is sleeping. I don't know, probably shouldn't leave the door open. So I got out of the car and I looked, and as the garage door was trying to close, since the door, which I didn't realize that the whole garage door had come off of the track on one side, as it was coming down because it was hanging there, the garage door actually hit the sensor and would go back up. And I was like, uh-oh, like, I don't know how I'm supposed to get this door back onto the tracks. So naturally, I go inside. It's like midnight. My mom goes to bed at around like 9 o'clock, if not earlier than that. I wake her up and I'm like, hey, something's wrong with the garage door. And she was like, I told you not to leave, but like, okay. So she comes downstairs. Like, she's really tired. It's super dark out too, so she doesn't really notice what happened. But she had to grab a hammer and then like hammer it back onto the track. And she like asked me what happened, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. So I ended up just going and eating with my friends, and I came back, and as I was driving, I realized that my radio antenna that was on top of my car had scraped, like, as the door was scraping against the roof, it took the radio antenna with it, so my radio like no longer worked. And I know some people say you don't really need that, but most of my stations were just like static, and I'm just like, good thing I don't listen to the radio, like no big deal. I think this happened like around a year ago. But the garage door is still kind of bent, and my neighbors are snitches, by the way. I live in like a townhome duplex area, so we have to like pay fees every month and stuff, and they take care of the outside of the house for us, because we don't want to like mow the lawn or shovel or anything like that. And they are really like particular about not having like junk in your front yard. Like, you're not really allowed to have things out. Like, but my neighbors on this side, they have like shit everywhere. They have like 50 bird houses, or whatever they're called, bird feeders, in their backyard, and just like wind chimes and everything that you could find at like garage sales and stuff. They have it in their backyard. All of it. They have like a couple fire pits. There's like this weird like thing and chairs everywhere. Yeah, so they have a lot of shit, and we don't have like anything. Like, my mom has deck furniture outside, and it's just like a little like couch and like 2 chairs. Like, it's just like furniture that is in our little area. It's not all over our backyard. But these people on this side, pretty sure, and this lady's been really nice, like the lady who lives on the other side of this wall, and she could probably hear me screaming, but I'm pretty sure she snitched on us and was like, hey, those girls next door, like those ladies, their garage doors like bent, and they should buy a new one. Like, she's really trying to have us buy a whole new garage door because I dented the one that is still down there. Like, that is pretty much the story of when I had the Volkswagen Jetta. And the thing is, you know, when I told you that I had like the passenger side mirror had like bent off, my grandparents were there at the time. That was right when we moved into this house like 3 years ago. I was like, oops, I was on my way out. I was just like, see ya. And I told my mom, hey, like my mirror is like broken now, oops. And my grandma was in town at the time, and she just took the mirror and like shoved it back on. Like, she just like clicked it back on. She's like, it'll be fine. And the thing is, like, I don't really travel long distances, or I wasn't traveling long distances at the time in this car. So the fact that the mirror was like hanging on for dear life, like, wasn't really like a big deal to me at all, until Anita. Some of you know who Anita is because like no one watches my videos, but my best friend was on the speech team in high school, and she wanted me to drive them down. Like, I offered because like I had nothing better to do, to drive a couple of them down to this like state speech tournament. And as we're driving, I'm probably going like 75 to 80 miles per hour on like the freeway. I hear something like bang against the passenger side window, and I look in the rearview mirror and I see my mirror, the passenger side mirror, like tumbling away in the distance. The kid in the back is like, oh my god, like I knew that was gonna fly off. Thanks for telling me. Like, I would have pulled over and like saved it, but now it's gone. And then my dad thought it'd be a good idea to just like buy a new one, because the thing is, like, the actual like mirror itself was still there, but the structure around it, like, that matched the car, was gone. So I didn't really care, but my parents are all about like things looking nice. I'm just like, you know what, like, I really don't care. Like, I'm missing radio antenna. I wasn't at the time. The car, like, it's just, there's scratches everywhere, there's dent. I don't care. It's a 2003 car. Like, it's not gonna look cute. So my dad orders a new mirror thing to attach to it, and I'm like, okay, thank you. Okay. He orders it in black. He asked me like several times, like, hey, what color was the mirror? And I'm like, it's silver. Because if you've ever seen like those old Jettas, the design of it is not very creative at all. Literally the entire car was silver. Like the whole body was silver, the mirrors were silver, and the whole grille was silver. Just everything was silver. There was no like details at all. There wasn't like, oh, some of it's like white, some of it's black. No, it's all silver. And I told him that it was silver. He's like, nah, I'm pretty sure it's black. And I'm like, nothing on my car except for the tires are black. That's it. So he orders it in black, and because he doesn't listen to me, no one listens to me, everyone thinks I'm stupid, so he doesn't listen to me. He orders a black one, and I go to his house so he can like put it on, and I'm like, oh, surprise, like it's silver. Like, look at my car, it's silver. So he spray painted it. He spray painted it with like silver spray paint, and it looked like pretty good. Like it matched the car really well. If you weren't like looking at it, like it looked really good. Except it wasn't as like shiny as the rest of the car. The mirror was like a matte silver, and the rest of my car was like shiny looking kind of, but whatever. I have really bad luck with cars. That's just oops. But I've only been driving for like 4 years, and this is my second car, and I feel like it's I've seen worse. I think I'm doing fine. So anyways, about a year ago, I was driving home from when I was working at the liquor store that was like 20 or 30 minutes away from my house, and it was like blizzarding outside. The roads were terrible. And like I was at the time a pretty confident driver in these conditions. Like I live in Minnesota. I was like, it's snowing, like there's snow around like half the year. Like I usually just drive the speed limit. Like, I mean, I'm kind of a speeder, like, in general, but I drive the speed limit when the roads are bad. The only time I ever really slow down is when everyone around me is, like, driving super slow, or if there's, like, a car right in front of me. But honestly, I was, like, the only one on the road at the time, so I was just going the speed limit. I didn't really care. And basically, my entire drive is, like, a straight, like, the straight freeway kind of, it like curves a little bit, and then if you live in my area, it's where like 35 turns into 694 and you're going towards White Bear Lake. I'm miles away from my house, and I actually wasn't going home at the time. I was on my way to go pick up my friend so that we could go to Denny's and like eat shit food. And I remember I was listening to Collard Greens by Schoolboy Q and Kendrick Lamar when I was driving. I don't know why, but ever since that accident happened, I like won't listen to that while I'm driving. It's just, I'm weird. And then all of a sudden my car, like I hit clearly a patch of black ice, and my car starts like swerving. And here's the thing, here's a lesson. When your car starts swerving, you're not really supposed to like move the steering wheel. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to like keep the steering wheel straight and pretty much like slam on your brakes and just like stay like that. Like there's nothing else you can really do if you're spinning out of control. But here I am, like my dumbass is like spinning the steering wheel one way or the other, like trying to like stay straight on this road, and clearly it's not working because I am going probably like 60 miles an hour, spinning out of control on this freeway, and I didn't realize this was happening, but I spun around a couple times, and then my car was just straight up going backwards at like 50, 60 miles an hour. I don't know why I did this. I was by myself, but I was like screaming bloody murder while I was like spinning out of control. The way I'm spinning out is like going towards like the middle of the road where there's like, I think there's like 3 lanes of traffic, and then 3 lanes of traffic going the other way, but there's like a ditch in the middle, and there's a little guardrail that keeps you from like going into the ditch and going into like oncoming traffic the other way. So my car crosses these 3 lanes of traffic that I was in. My back passenger side slams into the guardrail, and then the front passenger side like hit second, so it was like boom boom. And I'm pretty sure that I went like this and then like hit my head really hard on this window, and I'm like bawling my eyes out, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm like hyperventilating, and it's like late, like my parents are already asleep because I had to work until 10 at the liquor store. And immediately, I don't know why, but I call my friend at the time. He's probably gonna watch this. Hi. I call my friend at the time who lives in like several states away. It was just someone that I talked to on a daily basis, and I called them, and I was just like bawling my eyes out because here's the thing. Before I had left work, I told him, I was like, hey, like apparently like the roads are really bad, so if you like don't hear from me, I'm probably dead. And then he's like, oh, don't say that, like that's stupid, like why would you worry me like that? And I'm like, dude, you know what, I'm a good driver, don't worry. So he gets a call for me. He's at this like party, because I'm pretty sure it's a Saturday night, maybe it's a Friday, I don't know, but and he's so like worried that I I had just gotten in this car accident. I was just bawling my eyes out. I had just totaled my car. Like, I don't think you realize that, like, the whole entire, like, back part of my car was, like, missing. Both the hubcaps, like, on that side of the car were, like, gone. They had flew off. The rims were dented. I was really worried that my tires were gonna, like, pop. And the thing is, as I started driving away, by the way, like, other cars had, like, passed me. Like, they saw this happen, and they just, like, passed me, like, oh, that sucks. And they just keep driving, like, Minnesota nice my ass. My friend was so worried, he like went home. He like walked home and like felt so bad that I had just gotten into this accident. And then he ended up going back to the party because I'm someone who's just like, you know what, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I didn't go home. I still went and picked up my friend and we went to Denny's. Genius. I know. That's not all. That is not all. After we had gone to Denny's, like it was still just like snowing like crazy. But I drove her home, and the thing is, while I was driving, the alignment in my car was so messed up that as I was driving like straight, the steering wheel was turned all the way to the side, and if I tried to turn it back, my car would like go that way. So I dropped her off. It was like getting close to midnight now, I think, and I'm blocks away from my house, and I get pulled over. Like, I get pulled over. And I remember I used to like live stream on this one app that no one probably knows about, but I was live streaming and the people in the comments were all like, oh my god, wouldn't it be funny if you got like pulled over right now? Because the thing is, my like taillight was missing. Obviously the light is out, it's not working because the light is gone. And I was like, yeah, like wouldn't that be so funny, like if I got pulled over right now? And then I turn onto the street that's like blocks away from my house, and there's a car following me. And I'm like, yep, like, that's a cop. I was telling them, like, that's dead ass. That is a cop behind me. I'm about to get pulled over. Like, nice. Awesome. Cool. Nice. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, are you kidding? So he comes up to my window and I'm just like, yep, like, I just did this. Like, not too, like, on my way home, I just did this. So, like, I'm sorry. Just... I don't know what to tell you, like it's gone, like I can't get it fixed, like give me a ticket, I don't know. He was really nice about it. I mean, the cops in my town are like, I think they're decent. Like I've been pulled over I think 5 times for having headlights and taillights out, and like I've never gotten a ticket for it, knock on wood, because like I'm the most unlucky person in the world, so like that's totally gonna happen. My phone's about to like die in a couple seconds, so I have to go to work now. Thank you for watching as always. My social media is down below, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me, add me, I don't know. I hope you guys are having a good day or night wherever you are. Also subscribe. Like, did I say that? I don't think so. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Damn, I like busted. If you're still watching this, I just want to let it be known that like those weren't the only things to happen to that car while I was driving it. I mean, I slowly tore this thing apart. Like, I'm pretty sure when I got rid of it, like there wasn't a passenger side like sun visor, and like the air conditioning vents were like non-existent. And I also had just gotten like brand new tires, I think a good week before totaling it. Like it's just, there were so many other things that happened to this car, so like that's not all, but yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.